had a vision this morning. I was standing alone somewhere. Somewhere no one has ever been before. It felt like I was standing in a place where light doesn't exist anywhere but on me. And it felt as if nothing besides me existed. I don't think anyone has ever felt as lonely as how I was at that time. I tried to walk and I realized that my feet are bare, and I was standing on something that felt like mud because it was sloppy, wet, and cold. I looked down at my feet and see them soaked in blood, and almost immediately I felt like my body was empty, that every bit of blood has been drained out of me to the last drop and just thrown on the soil on which I was standing. I felt more connected to the soil than I was with myself, like I was the soil and someone was standing on me. And then I hear something. Someone. Someone was calling my name and it sounded familiar. The more I heard it, the more I realized that it sounds like me. I was convinced that it was me calling out to myself, even though I didn't open my mouth. I just tried to find where I'm calling myself from, but I couldn't. Earlier it was just me, but now it's me and my name. That was everything in existence.
And all this was in your dream?
Huh? You know what you're explaining? It sounds more like a dream to me.
It's not a dream. It actually happened. It's more like a vision.
A vision?
Yeah, it happens to me all the time. Nothing to be confused over.
I'm not actually confused. I'm worried.
It happens to me all the time. I'm not crazy yet. Maybe I am crazy. It's not like something that happens to everyone all the time, right?
You mean the visions?
Right. Maybe crazy is not far from it. Maybe I am crazy. Well, I've been having these visions for quite a while now. They're not the type of visions that predict the future or anything, or give the lottery number, but it's just mostly meaningless.
So you get these visions all the time?
Not all the time, but when something happens.
Wait, something happens. What? Well, to be frank, I'm surprised I bumped into you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy that you're here, but didn't your aunt funeral today?
You know about that?
The country knows about it. She's happy right now. But you're here. Is everything okay?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Tell me about you. It's been almost 16 years since I last saw you from high school.
Pretty enough.
So how it is to be a loudmouth to a architect 16 years later?
Well, maybe I got sick and tired of talking to her. No, but I guess after high school I had no idea what I wanted to do, and Dad suggested I do architecture, even though I knew I wasn't smart enough to do it, but somehow I figured it out and just went from there, you know? Did the whole degree, work, family, marriage. Gosh, I remember in school how I always was like, I'm never going to get married. Do you remember that?
I was literally gonna say, we plan no marriage. But that,
That was my thing in high school.
yeah, it is really hard.
Tell me about it. I mean, everyone knew me as Lisa No Mary, not just Lisa. I mean, I hated that nickname, but kind of just stuck because it was so easy, and I guess rather you wanted to be your aunt's clone and we made you the wannabe. Well, I understand your position. Everyone wanted to be like your aunt. She was an inspiration to our generation.
It's a ridiculous question.
I never thought I'd hear you say that. Alright, yes, she was influential, that much is true, but you just had this obsession and you just took it to a whole nother level. I get it, it was a big deal being the big. Whoa, the real Sarah would never have said that.
The real Sarah is back in the bed.
Speaking of bases, remember that time when you dressed up as your aunt for career day, even though you looked nothing like her?
That was embarrassing. And what was that got to do with this?
What? What are you talking about?
You went to this now?
Me? I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Remember, I talk too much.
At least you. The doctor.
Oh, where are you? I can't find you anywhere.
Yes, yes. I came out for a bit, for a breather.
Well, the funeral took its start an hour ago.
I came out to the beach. I'll be back soon. Okay?
Just come quickly, Ma. Everyone is asking for
Okay,
you.
okay, darling. Bye. Sorry, that was my son.
Oh, how old is your son?
Yes.
10. Whoa. How old were you when you got married? You wanna sit down?
Family kids?
Yeah? Yeah, I have a daughter.
A daughter?
Yeah, she's gonna be 3 this year.
So you've been a mother for 3 years now.
Yeah, well, 7 down from you. Actually, she's deaf. Yeah, she's deaf. We went to doctors, tried all the medicines, all the treatments, and it just didn't work. We just didn't know what to do. I mean, it was such a shock for me and my husband that what can you do? I mean, it's not her fault. It's not her fault, you know. She doesn't deserve this, and we've tried so hard to make her know that, but she's 3. I mean, she doesn't know anything. She doesn't know that she's deaf, and, I've tried so hard to be, I don't know if I've been a good mother. I want to be a good mother, but, I just snap when, people start feeling sorry for her because she doesn't deserve that. She doesn't need that. She's got me. She's got me. I'm sorry. I don't, you're not the first person I've vented to about this. It's okay. I'm fine. I'm
Sarah,
Yes, Auntie?
is the room to your liking?
Oh, it's great, Auntie.
Oh, good. Well, this is your room. And your home for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
You must be yourself here, Sarah. So your bags are down the hall, and if you feel like bringing them up later, you can, and then settle in.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah! Is this your father's wallet, dear?
Yeah, this is Dad's wallet. Is everything okay?
Oh, everything's fine, dear. Don't worry. The maid found it on the floor. He must have dropped it when he was dropping off your bags.
Oh, don't worry. I'll give it back to him.
Oh, I'm sure he'll come back for it soon. I can't believe that my sister married a man who loses his wallet and doesn't feel it. late even after a long journey. But still, I think I'm going to let you rest today. And tomorrow, we can start planning your vacation and take it from there. Right.
I remember watching her interview when it went on air on TV for the first time, and I think I was just 12 years old. That literally put my aunt on the radar. Right? It made her a pride, a national hero, a champion for all of us girls. And she's inspired all of us girls in the country. She was my mother's younger sister, but I've not even met her or spoken to her at family gatherings. I've barely even spoken to her really, but she really inspired me, and I thought to myself that she will be my role model for my life. And I was just so proud to be her niece. It was something that changed my life. The things she went on to do after that, and even now to this day, she is considered as a hero.
But all of that didn't matter to me as much as her personality, that courage, that grace, that elegance. That was what I saw. That was what inspired me.
So this humanitarian thing was just a secondary thing at that point in time for me.
Yeah, it was her personality that got everyone's attention.
Even at school, even though she did some amazing things, I liked her not because of that. It was just because she was amazing. That was what I was attracted to. The way she commanded everyone, the amount of control she had, and she knew everything she did. She knew what to do. I was obsessed with her ever since that interview. And I remember during my O-levels, during that 3-month break time, I told my parents and I convinced them somehow to let me stay with her just to, help her out. And I was pretty much ready to do anything just to be next to her. It wasn't that I loved her as my aunt or anything, which I don't think I ever did. It was just more that I admired her as a person.
Yeah?
And you know how annoying and persuasive I can be.
So I sort of annoyed my parents into letting me stay with her during the 3-month vacation. And that was something like a dream come true moment for me.
Sarah!
Yes, Auntie?
So there are a few things I'd like you to follow during your 3 months here. First of all, this study is off limits when I am not here. Even if you need to come in to borrow a book, you need to ask me first. And it's only then that you can enter this room.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Sarah, I want you to know that you can go anywhere in this house, wherever you want to. No other place is off limits except this study. Is that clear?
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason we'll be using it is to study, but you're on vacation. So I assume you're not going to be doing too much studying anyway, are you, my dear? Enjoy yourself as much as you like, dear. But I do have another rule, and that is for you to be responsible. And what I mean by being responsible is to not be rowdy. Just behave yourself. Have fun, but behave yourself. And another thing, we do have a maid here. She lives in, and I will introduce you to her later, but it's important, I think, for you to help her out as much as you can. It's your choice. It's not mandatory that you do chores, but I do believe that it builds character. Understood? Another thing, and I'm very serious about this, you cannot disrespect her.
Oh, no.
Right. It is very important, and on this I do not tolerate at all, that the maid is treated with the same respect as you would treat anyone else.
understand.
I attend a lot of social gatherings, a lot of meetings, a lot of press conferences. Maybe you'd like to join me at some point?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Good. I'm sure you'll learn a lot from them. One last thing, dear. I want you to know that you can talk to me about anything you would like, and I will do my best to answer. Okay? There is another problem, though. I do not like to be interrupted. So, you can decide for yourself when you would like to talk to me. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Is everything clear?
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, now that that's out of the way, what do you plan on doing today?
I haven't really decided yet.
Have you had time to go and see around the house yet?
No, I haven't been anywhere except my room and the kitchen.
Right. Well, in that case, wait until I'm done, and then I will show you around the house and introduce you to the maid.
Yeah.
But then there's something I realized during that 3 months period of time when I was at her house.
Her public persona was slightly exaggerated. My aunt at home was not always the same as her in front of the camera. She was more commanding in person, more smarter too, and maybe a little too arrogant as well. But it never bothered me. I liked it. 3 months just go by in a flash, and I was just watching and learning as much as I could from her. But every time I saw her, I always felt she had this air of superiority around her at all times. She had this look when she stares right at you. It tells you right away that she's in charge, that this is her court, and that there was no stopping her. And there was I, loving every minute of it.
But on the last night, something happened. Something that shouldn't have happened. saw her. How do I say this? I saw her getting intimate with my dad.
My own father with my mother's sister?
Just couldn't make any noise. I couldn't tell anyone.
I go back to my room and wait till it's morning, trapped in that room with what I know. I don't know how long it has been going on for. I don't know if it was a one night thing, and I still don't know if it went on that way till she died. All I knew was what I saw that night, and I had to live with it forever.
The next morning, I walk out of my room into the hall and I see my father with my aunt. He lies to me saying that he only came to pick me up that morning to take me back home. I have never told this to anyone. And now she's dead. I see my mother crying over her. Everyone, this entire nation crying over her and mourning for her death. National pride. And then, what? My father just lives on as if nothing happened. Happily ever after. And my mom, who has no clue as to what happened. While I carry this burden. I just don't know who to hate. Is it my mother, my father, my aunt, or myself? I so want to believe it was just a dream, a hallucination, but I know what I know, and I. Sarah, it's okay. Hello, Josh.
Ma, they're closing the coffin. Where are you?
Coming. I'm coming. I'll be there.
Ma, are you crying?
Josh, I'll be there soon. I'm sorry, I just need to be somewhere else.
You're headed to your aunt's funeral, right? Well, you're kind of going that direction. You wanna wait?
That's okay. You can go. This seems too good to be here.
What do you mean?
It just seems too convenient to be here. You know, you showed up after 16 years at a time where I thought I would explode if I don't try to something. And then the last thing I remember is just waking up from a dream and then ending up here on some beach. A place I'll never be during a funeral.